Rogue was the first class that I chose in Diablo 4. Since Blizzard released the video trailer for this class, I knew that was gonna be my character. Extremely high damage and mobility, and at the same time squishy. One wrong move could trap this assassin in hell. With this insane build, which I called it Death of Shadow, mobs will be dead at the blink of an eye. You will be lucky if they knew what killed them. Dungeon bosses will be deleted within seconds. Hi everyone, my name is Inna. Now let's dive in and explore this build. For skills, I have an Invigorating Strike, Twisted Blade, Dash, Concealment, Cold Inbuild, and Shadow Clone. Specialization, combo points for groups and inner sight for single target bosses. The main source of output plays around Twisted Blade, especially the Returning Blade. All the other skills are for setups. Let me explain. Damaging with Invigorating Strike increases energy regen by 20% for 3 seconds. This is very important for early game as we will be spamming Twisted Blade and it costs a lot of energy. Modifiers I choose increase regen when damaging crowd controlled enemies and making enemy vulnerable when damaging below 50% energy. For core skills, I play Twisted Blade and it goes hand in hand with Dash for wave clearing at the same time dodging attacks and crowd controls. The Returning Blade actually does more than double the damage than the initial blade with modifiers. I chose the Returning Blade 30% increase the damage and the 1 second cooldown of all skills when hitting one enemy with Returning Blade, max 3 seconds. Which means if we will have 2 Returning Blades, we could do 6 seconds cooldown, 3 Returning Blades for 9 seconds cooldown, you do the math. Because core skills like Twisted Blade uses energy and all other skills uses cooldown, they make a perfect skills family. Dash is the ability skill with increased crit chance and slowing enemies that were hit as modifiers. The best part is yet to come. Concealment is a key skill for damage booster. Concealment gets Rogue into stealth and the skill breaking the stealth will guarantee to be a critical strike. Guess what? The Returning Blade also benefits from this. The amount of damage is high enough to clear any trash mobs. Before level 15, this build's damage is still limited. It may not one-shot some of the elites, so I try to use Cold Inbuild to make these elites vulnerable and freeze. The skill casting order goes like this. Invigorating Strike, then 1 Twisted Blade followed by Dash, then repeat. Or Invigorating Strike, then 2 Twisted Blade followed by Dash, then repeat, until everything is dead. This should kill most of the mobs and elites. And don't forget to dodge big attacks and CCs in betweens. When we have Concealment and Cold Inbuild unlocked, go Invigorating Strike, dash past elites if any, then Concealment while dodging and approaching the target, hit Cold Imbuement. It does not break stealth, then 2 or 3 Twisted Blades on the elites, then dash past as much mobs as possible. Your screen may not see what is behind you at this point, but only hearing the wind from the Returning Blade and the screaming from the mobs. When you get to level 15 and completed the specialization skill mission, you unlock combo points and inner sight. Only one to be selected, but could be reselected at any time. This is where the fun starts. One shot elite is not a joke when you could easily output over 1000 damage with 1 Returning Blade. When each combo point adds increased damage to core skill, 3 combo points is what we are looking for before we get into stealth for that critical strike. I normally put a couple more blades into the elites after breaking stealth, then move around the map after dash to do more damage to tough elites and let Returning Blade cover more areas on the screen. Some mobs have high health and sometimes the mobs are not all in one line. It also cools down the Concealment for next use. For inner sight, I usually only use when doing single target boss fights. Because the target we need to hit to fill up the yellow bar for unlimited energy is random and changes from time to time, and no elite could possibly take 4 seconds continuous impaling. When facing one boss, it becomes much easier. and it could truly show the potential of this specialization skill. When I get to level 23, Ultimate unlocks Shadow Clone. My damage almost doubled. The Shadow Clone will mimic your action and do 60% damage. This is increased to the 80% with modifier. It also gives unstoppable for a short time. I drop the clones just before I hit Twisted Blade, so the clone is close enough to hit the target. There is no need to use ultimate skills until boss fight, and watch how boss health bar drops like waterfall. If you think this is the limit of Rogue, wait until you watch the itemization section next. There are some key legendary effects in this build that will boost the damage and survivability of the character. These are the effects that I have. When you cast Dash, a Shadow Clone is spawned at your location that also casts Dash with 35% base damage. Upon taking damage from surrounding enemies, you drop a smoke grenade and dodge the next 2 attacks within 10 seconds. When breaking stealth with an attack, drop grenades deal damage and stun enemies. Using agility skills reduces the cooldown of next subterfuge skills by 30%, which means using dash could cool down consument. When used evade or shadow steps, drop stun grenades do damage and stun enemies. And later in the game, I got 2 new legendary effects that are absolutely game changer for this build. One is critical strike with core skills increase attack speed by 60%, and the other is basic skills gain 48% attack speed. But when I imprinted to boots, it dropped down to 32%. 60% attack speed will be applied to Twist the Blade, and basic skill attack speed allows Rogue to build up 3 combo points less than 1 second. Use Inner Sight during boss fight. When unlimited energy is up, break the stealth and impale the boss together with your Shadow Clone like Flash. Then watch how boss's health bar falls like Silicon Valley Bank. With the item stats, I was looking for Dexterity and Intelligence. Somehow this class's crit chance scale of intelligence. I also look for plus damage percentage to crowd controlled and slowed enemies, as dash and cold imbuement could slow enemies. Poison resistance is what I prioritize on. I have built up over 50% poison resistance, mainly for the dungeon bosses and world boss. I didn't spend a lot of time just farming, so my items are nowhere near ideal. I like this set because this is how I feel my inner rogue is, fast and lethal. If more skill points and item levels could be accessed, I believe this build would feel even more satisfying for me. Hope this is also true for you. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a thumb up and subscribe for more videos in the future.